All right, folks, we're back at it again. We're going to do another wood flavor test using 4 different racks of ribs on 4 different kettles. Now, last time we did this, we did the chop test: cherry, hickory, oak, and pecan. But this time we're using 4 different woods, most of which you guys actually requested. All right, the mama test. The first M in mama is for mesquite. Now, here's a piece of mesquite wood right here. If you're not familiar with mesquite, it's very dark. It's got a very distinct flavor. It's something you'll know either you like it or you don't kind of thing. And I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't dislike it, but it's not my favorite. This was heavily requested by you guys, so I'm willing to try it, of course, and we'll put it on some ribs and see how we think. But that's the first M is mesquite. So the first A in mama is applewood. Now, here's a piece of applewood right here. Applewood's always kind of gnarly. It's got a lot of twists and turns and bends to it, but it's a very smooth, fruity flavor. It's very distinct. I usually use apple for poultry as well as pork, but typically poultry for me. But it's actually a very good, smooth flavored wood. It's a very common, popular wood. But apple is something we're going to try on ribs today and do a whole rack of them and see what we think of apple. Let's move on to the next one. All right, guys, the second M in mama stands for maple. We're going to use maple wood today. Here's a close-up of some maple wood. Now, of the 4 different woods we're using today, this is definitely the softest wood. It's still considered a hardwood, but it's the softest of the 4 today. It's a very smooth flavor, not real strong. I've never used it on ribs before, so I can't wait to try it on some ribs, but we're using maple on a rack of ribs today as well. Now, go to our last one. This is the one I'm excited about. And lastly, the second A in mama stands for almond wood. We're going to use almond wood on a rack of ribs today. Now, I've never used almond wood before. If you have, please put in the comments where you tried it, what you thought of it. I'll tell you, it's not very cheap. It was 13-pound bag was $40, so it's not very cheap, but hoping I'll like it. I thought I'd give it a try. I'd never tried it before. Now, we're going to use spare ribs, but I will cut them down to St. Louis cut, and I'll show you me trimming one of those just as a refresher here. Exact same thing as far as seasoning goes. We're going to use salt and pepper only, and we're going to smoke them at 275. Let's go. All right, folks, let's do a little refresher course on how to trim up some spare ribs into St. Louis cut. Now, here we got a full rack of spare ribs. Kind of inspect, you got this flap on the back, got the membrane, got a lot of floppy ends on each side, some just chunky fat here and there. So what we're going to do is we're going to trim all that up, make them very nice and square. Usually you're going to find across this seam right up here, the highest bone is what you're looking for. You're going to cut along that seam. It's right above that bone, which is going to be right about here. So it's kind of hard because the cartilage is there, but you can get through it, no doubt. And that's just cartilage, guys, that you're going through. Now we're going to cut off these floppy ends and get to where we have a good solid bone here. That's on the bottom. We'll worry about that in a minute. We want to get to a good solid bone. So they're actually in this rack about right there is where we have our first decent spot to cut these. And we usually go about 8 or 9 bones in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to get over 10 this time, right at 10 on this rack. Square it off there. So there's the final rack we're going to have. It's not very long, but that's the way it worked out. So we're going to cut these off, this flap off here on the bottom. And this little straggler of meat that we have right here, this fat stuff, you know, if you can get that off, that's good. It's just a fatty bite. And this is pretty much a pretty aggressive trim I've done on these. You don't have to get them this aggressive, but that's what I wanted to do on this one. I like the size of that rack, but look the way it looks. We got good 9 or 10 ribs there. Look along the sides, make sure there's no meat hanging off the sides, it'll burn. I'll round off our corners here a little bit. Now, I'm not going to wrap these in foil. We're going to have these that will be naked the whole way, but you usually want to wrap these turn these corners off because of the fact that you don't want them to burn. Well, the straight edges like that burn a little bit. So there we go. Inspect the ribs. You see they're actually look pretty good. Now, there's a little extra fat right there. I'm okay with that. It's not so bad that I don't want to end up making a shiner by accident. Very easy. So we're going to just score the membrane. We're not going to remove it. We're just going to score it like I did last time. So run my knife down through here like that, and then kind of go between each one and make it so that membrane dissolves easy, or is easier to handle when you go to eat. Now we're through with that part of it. Now we're going to season them up. And this is just 50-50 salt and pepper, guys. Just an even mixture of both. It's a light coating of it. And I'll use what I spill off the sides to the edge of my ribs. And then I'm going to just dab the sides to get some on each side of the ribs. On the edges, you don't want to forget the sides. And we are ready to go. There's one rack ready to go. I've got 3 more to do. We'll do all 3 of those. Get our kettles going and get these ribs on. All right, folks, it's time to put our ribs on. We're going to put the mesquite on first, then the apple, then the maple, and then the almonds. Let's get the mesquites on first. Here's the mesquite ribs. Pump them up a little bit. Get them right in there. We are ready to go. Lid back on as fast as we can. Move to the apples now. So we put the apple on right there. Works up a little bit, and they are good to go. Again, put the vent over the meat, over our ribs, so it pulls that smoke flavoring over the meat. Now let's go over to the maple and almond. Let's get the maple on. Now guys, I'll get all these ribs on, and then, like last time, I'll come back about an hour and a half probably and spritz them. But I'll tell you what, they got done a lot quicker than I thought they were going to last time. I was very pleased how fast they got done. Now let's go over to the almond and get these on. Put our vent over our food. All right, so now we got those done. All right, folks, we got all 4 racks on now. We've got them all going at 275. We're gonna leave them there till they're finished. Now I'll come back about an hour and a half and spritz them with a mixture of apple cider vinegar and water, just like I did last time. They'll finish in probably 4.5 hours. I'm not gonna wrap them at all until they're completely done. We'll put them in some butcher paper and put it in a warming cabinet until the rest of them are done. I don't know which one's gonna finish first, but whichever one finishes first, we'll put it in the warming cabinet until they're all done, and then we'll take them out, give them a test, and see which one we like the best. So I'll see you probably about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours at the max when I do a spritz. All right, folks, it's been about an hour and a half, maybe about an hour and 40 minutes. I'm gonna pull the lid off of each one of these. I'm gonna spritz them. We'll do it pretty quick because I don't put the the air in there and mess with our temperatures. But here we're gonna spritz them real quick and we'll go. Looking great, looking good color on these. These are the Mesquite ones, guys. Those look really, really good. Very pleased with those. Got a little pullback right there in that front corner, but other than that, they look really good. Now let's move on to the apples. Very good color on them as well. I'm really pleased with the looks of those too. We'll give them a spritz here real quick. And we'll move on to the maple ones now. Wow, really good color. It's a really rich color, better than I expected. I wasn't sure what I'd get out of that maple. Man, that looks really good. Very pleased with how those look. Fantastic. All right, now let's move on to the almond. I'm excited to see what these things look like. All right, guys, let's look at these almond ones. I've not seen these yet either. I'm anxious to see how they look. Oh, wow, they look really good. So they don't actually need much spritzing at all. They look really good. They look like a pecan color, I would say. That's not real dark, not real light, just a good average color. All right, folks, our first rack of ribs is done. And it turns out it's the maple ribs. Let me get them off here and show them to you. These things look terrific. Look at that, guys. I am very pleased with the way those look. Look at the color on these things, guys. Just absolutely gorgeous ribs. Beautiful red color. Got a good pullback on the bones. Just look great, guys. I'm very pleased with these ribs, especially not having not used maple before on ribs. Tell you what, those look very, very nice. So I'll do some butcher paper. Nothing real fancy about how to do this. Just bend it over, move this over. We're gonna write maple on here, just so we'll know which ones these are. I can't just put M. If I put M, maybe Mesquite. So we're doing maple. I'll put this in the warming cabinet. Check the other ones already too, and they are getting close. There's a couple that are in the high 190s, a couple in the mid 190s, one in the mid 190s. So once they get fully tender and get probe tender for temperature wise, we're good to go. I'll pull them all off. I'll see you when I get them all done. See you in a bit. All right, y'all, the next ones done are the almond ribs. Let me get them out and let you look at them. There they are, looking really good as well. I love the look of these things too, guys. They look fantastic also. Color on those is superb. It's got good drawback. I cannot wait to taste these almond ones. I think they're gonna be fantastic. And of course, it's something new for me. I've never had it before. Like I said, if you've used almond before, please do put in the comments something that you like about it or something you used it on. Just anything at all that you think you might share about almond wood. I'll tell you what I think after I get to taste them here in a little bit. I'll wrap these up. Kind of a pro tip here, guys. I definitely cut all my butcher paper and pulled it all at one time. Wouldn't have to worry about it. You've got it done at the same time. At least it's all the paper done. So these are the almond. We write almond up here in the corner. I'll put these into the warming cabinet as well, alongside the maple ones, and we'll bring you back whenever the next ones are done. All right, y'all, the third rack is finished, and that would be the Mesquite ones. Let me get them off and show them to you. These look great too, guys. Very pleased how these look. They turned out beautiful. A good rich mahogany color, good pullback on the ribs, good red color, perfectly done on the backside as well. Very pleased how these turned out. Can't wait to taste these and see what I think of them as well. We'll get these wrapped up too. Now all we like now is the apple ones. And it's funny, because the apple ones are the ones that took off the fastest. The temperature took off faster than anything else. Internal temperature, not the cooking temperature was fine. It was, the 275 we tried for, but they actually took off temperature-wise internally much faster than anything else. I thought for sure they would get done first, but they did not. All right, Mesquite. All right, guys, I'll put these in the warming cabinet. We've got one rack finished, and it's the apples, and they are very, very close to being done. When they are, we'll bring them all out, cut them open, take a taste. See you in a minute. All right, folks, our final rack finished, and it's the apple. Let me pull them off, and I'll show you how they look too. They look really, really good. Very pleased with these as well. Really good color on these apple ones as well. Good pullback on the bones. Backside looks really, really good. So we'll get these wrapped up, let them rest a little bit. I don't know why the apples took a little longer than the rest. They took about, 45 minutes longer than the others. Each rib rack came off like 10 or 15 minutes apart. These took longer than the rest. I don't know why. We just cooked at the same temperature. These took a little longer than normal. So they were close to 5 hours being done. The first rack came off at about probably just a little past 4 hours. 4 hours, 20 minutes, something like that. These were much closer to 5 hour mark. There we go. All right, apple on these. We'll let these sit in the warming cabinet, rest a little bit, pull the others out too, about 10 or 15 minutes, pull them out, let them rest. Bring them out here and show every rack to you. Take a bite and see what we think. See you in a minute. All right, folks, we got all 4 racks completely done and completely rested. Now it's time to give them a try. We're gonna slice each one open, give you a look at each rib, take a bite of it, let you know what we think. First one we're gonna start from the left or from your right to left, my left to right. The first one on the left was actually almonds. This is the almond rack right here. We're gonna cut it open and see what we think. Split out here and get a rib. Wow, looks really, really good, guys. Really pleased with those ribs. Look really got a good smoke ring, some good moisture on them. Look at that. I've never tried almond wood, so we're gonna give it a try right now. Cheers, guys. Here's some almond wood. Let's take a bite and see what we think. Man, that's so good, guys. Wow. The rib is very well done. Good bite through on that rib. Very pleased with that. My goodness. Definitely got a oak pecan type smell, taste to it. More like a pecan taste. Very, very good though. Which would make sense, I guess, since they're both nuts. Almond and pecan. Very, very good, guys. Like that rib a lot. Very good tasting rib. Next is the maple. Let's take another quick look at that maple rack. Look at that color on that thing. Turn it over and give it a cut. Well, I like the way this one looked coming off the smoker. Very good red color, very pretty. All right, here we go. Wow, that looks really, really good too, guys. Look at that. Really good looking smoke ring. Man, that's a really good looking rib there too. We'll give this a try now and see what we think. Cheers to the maple, guys. Right, here we go. Okay. Very light smoke, but very tasty. That's very good. I like that a lot. I like that a whole lot. I never thought I liked maple on ribs, but actually has a little cherry taste to it, believe it or not. But very, very good. Another good bite through on that rib. Not fall off the bone or anything, of course. We don't want fall off the bone. Man, that's a very good looking rib. Very good tasty rib. Like I said, a little cherry taste to it, believe it or not. But very sweet, very flavorful, but very good. Next is going to be the apple ribs. Very good looking rib too. All these, man. Tell you guys, these all turned out very, very well. Good smoke ring on there. Got a good moisture in there. I mean, they're just fantastic ribs. Man, I love ribs and they're so good looking. So these are the apple. These are the ones that took the longest for some reason. We'll see if it was worth the wait. Here we go. Cheers, guys. Another good bite. Apple flavor, I'm used to it. I like it a lot, but I'm very used to it. Nothing new to me. I wouldn't usually use it on ribs necessarily, but like I said, I'm always an oak pecan guy. So this is all interesting to me. I love all these different flavors. I would eat this every day, twice on Sunday. They are really good. All these ribs have been that good, but apple's always good. Last bite's gonna be the mesquite ribs. Now, I've never had mesquite on ribs before. Never had it before in my life. So this will be new to me. Let's see what we think. I know I have a very distinct flavor, of course. I know that. Not as much of a smoke ring, but there's definitely one there. I mean, there's a lot of juice in those as well. Now, here's the mesquite, my first bite of a mesquite rib. Cheers, guys. Really good bite. If I'm being honest, they're a little dry. That's my fault, not the wood fault. But the flavor is very good. I love the mesquite flavor, actually. That's a really enjoyable rib. I thought it'd be too strong for me. I thought mesquite would be the strongest one of the bunch. And it is very strong, very good flavor, but very strong flavor. I can taste it a lot. When I say strong, I don't mean it's like overpowering. It's just there's enough of it. I would say my favorite rib from these 4 racks might be the maple. And the reason why is because it's so close to cherry, and I liked cherry so much last time. I'm not been a cherry guy normally. I'm not used to maple on ribs, of course. But all 4 of these racks were fantastic, guys. I loved every single one of these. I mean, tell me a bad rib, right? I mean, they're all really good. All very good woods that are used on these. I'd probably mark maple first and probably take almond second because it has a good pecan taste, which I love pecan wood. And then the apple and then mesquite. Mesquite's not bad. It's just apple. I'm used to it, comfortable with it. Mesquite's good, just like apple better. So these were 4 fantastic woods. Loved every single one of them. The taste, the tenderness, and the juiciness, these things was spot on. Very pleased how they all came out. Guys, if you're not familiar with doing ribs on a Weber Kettle, make sure you get there, guys, because it's fantastic. Easy to do. The temperatures were easy to control. Super quick cook, 4 hours, 4.5 hours, almost 5 on the one rack, but most of them are 4.5 hours. Never wrapped them, not a single bit until we went to rest them, of course. Turned out great. Guys, I hope you got some value out of the video today. Please, if you did, hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, we'd greatly appreciate that as well. Until next time, guys, I'll meet you at the smoker.